Hey you guys, it's Irene Lyon here. Welcome to this video. It's going to be a short one, but I wanted to answer a question that I got through social media. Again, common question I get, so I want to put it in here so that you know what the answer is. And the question went like this. What can we incorporate into a daily routine, morning or evening or whatever, to help grow capacity? Okay, so I talk about nervous system capacity, body capacity. Basically, this means our ability to handle stuff. The old stuff that's stored in our system, new stuff that comes into our system. By stuff, I mean stress, I mean traumatic experiences, things that basically were bad and we didn't like, so we stored them inside and pretty much put them away for a rainy day. What you might be learning with me, if you've been with me for a while, if you're not, welcome. But what you will learn is that these things that we store, our survival stressors, our emotions, bad feelings, all this stuff, it doesn't just magically disappear into fairy tale land. It stays in our body, it stays in our system. This is what creates toxicity and health problems. So chronic illness, mental illness. And by this, I mean everything from certain cancers to heart disease, to autoimmune, to chronic pain, to insomnia, to severe premenstrual syndromes, all sorts of stuff like this. So we trap that stuff inside, and unless we actively work with it from a nervous system, from a regulation point of view, right, from a survival stress physiology point of view, something that I teach my students, it won't come out. We can try to think it out of ourselves. We can journal till the cows come home. We can eat super well and cleanse our bodies. And we might feel a little bit better. But for those of you that have been in this game of healing and health for a while and trying to figure out why can't I shift these really deep problems, habits, illnesses, symptoms, etc., it's because they're stored at that deep biological, physiological, nervous system level, like in our system. So to go back to that question, what can I do as a daily routine? I think we need to start with learning about, actually, I know we need to start learning about our nervous system physiology, what it is, why as humans we trap this stuff. I have found in all of my years doing this with thousands of people in 57 plus countries that we need to have high level knowledge of our biology, why trauma gets trapped, and what happens when it gets trapped, and then the various types of traumatic experience, because there's not just one, right? There's early trauma, there's shock trauma, there's just the traumatic stress of being in our Western society and not being able to be free and be ourselves. There's a lot. So education is number one. In terms of routine, I like to kind of flip that question and say, yes, routine is good, but really it's lifestyle. It's making a pledge with yourself in many ways that from here on forward, whenever there is a sensation that's a little uncomfortable, whenever there's an emotion that I'm feeling that is not that nice, whenever there's a stress that comes in and I feel it, whenever there's a difficult conversation that makes me want to shut down or run away, that I pause, be with it, feel it, notice it, pause a bit more, get out of the survival reaction, the fight, flight, and freeze. Because shutting down is a survival reaction too, and it's actually one of the stickiest ones to catch because we numb out. We might actually feel okay. This is what spiritual bypass is all about. It's being able to stay stuck in this kind of euphoria when actually what we're doing is we're just, in many ways, anesthetizing the experience in our body, and it feels euphoric, just as if you've ever gone under anesthesia, it feels like you're being slipped into dreamland. We don't want that. We want to actually be in this third dimension heaviness of gravity and feel how we've trapped this survival stress in our system, because when we can get that stuff out, the old stuff, but also the new stuff that comes in, and not hold on to it for very long, we actually start to evolve our system, our DNA, our bodies, our minds, how we connect with the others, with the environment, with our purpose, with our creativity. We get out of survival mode and we're no longer living in that kind of recycled stress. So the first thing, education. The second thing is changing the dialogue or changing the point of view in which we look at it's more than just a routine. It's more than just, okay, twice a day I'm going to sit and do this practice of orienting or feeling my bum on the chair, which are all very good. We need to start somewhere with baby steps. I always say, start with the 1, 2, 3s and the ABCs. But as we go forward and as we learn more, we want to start noticing in a fluid way these things that come into our systems, stressors, emotions that might pop up, old emotional stress, survival physiology, that heart rate that's going for no reason. That is often because there's old survival stress bubbling up to the surface, right? Sometimes when there's pain, and it isn't because you've just had an acute injury, right? Maybe it's something you're fine, you haven't done anything crazy, and all of a sudden you're feeling this sensation and this heat and this tingling and this sharpness. That is often a sign that there is something old coming up and out. And if we're not cognizant of these bodily releases, these reactions, this integration that's occurring at the nervous system, body system, organ system level, we might miss it because we're waiting for that time later in the day when we're going to do our practice. So I know I might be being a little cheeky with that, but it comes down to how can we turn this around, this concept of healing our nervous system, and see it as lifestyle, see it as a constant practice, not just to be done at set times a day, but to really be there 24/7 all the time. If you are brand new to this work, I do suggest starting with something that is step by step, that does break down the basics. And so one of the more popular ebooks I have is called How to De-Stress in 7 Steps. It gets into more theory, which I love. So it's like a mini ebook. And then there are literally 7 steps of how to pause and feel and notice. Sense your breath. Notice a bit more. Wait. Pause. It's really simple. And sometimes the simplest practices we kind of pass off as, that's too simple, that's not going to do anything. Here's the thing. Our biology, our nervous system, it craves simplicity. It craves regulation. It doesn't like to have crazy, dramatic things to work with, especially when we are in survival physiology. When we live our lives with a lot of stress and a lot of stress chemistry, our higher brain, it can't figure out complexity. So we need to give it simple. So I will recommend, if you haven't yet done so, to grab, download, read this 7 steps, How to De-Stress in 7 Steps. That's one thing that you can start to bring into your daily routine. And then moving forward, see this work not as a practice necessarily that you do in certain points of the day, but it's a lifestyle change. All right, take good care. We'll see you next time.